We started with making tools and criteria of good practices, so definitions, and then we started to do the data collection of practices. Then we will do a data analysis, and then synthesis and review. Maybe, and it is contracted, we will have to do a publication. This is quite traditional. Everybody who is doing the research have to do the same things. On the other hand, we would like to use the synergies that this workshop is a highly networking type of workshop. Therefore, the project, therefore, we try to invite the HEXTLEARN network to help us in the research work. And it goes like this. For example, if people are joined in our HEXTLEARN network, whatever we do, they can comment on it openly, so it will not be secret. We project cases, then people can comment whether they like it or not. For example, I don't think it is a very good case. A network is more wise than a few researchers, and the good example of this is the Wikipedia, which is nowadays is much more powerful than the best publishing company in either side of the world. So whatever structure we have, the community will be able to bring up new topics, new postings, which will force us to directions we didn't think of when we started the research planning. And also the rating. However we define what will be the indicator of a good practice, the community will be able to rate cases, and the expert view and the community's view can't be in contradiction. So we do hope that the research and the community life, if it starts, will interact. And also, however, we are collecting good cases all over Europe. This community will enable any university, any person who is active in ICT field in any territory to upload their case, because they like it, because they have worked much for it, because they want to make a publicity among colleagues who also deal with ICT in other universities. And this practice will enrich the practices we knew in our territories, because our knowledge is quite limited. However, there are more than 9 partners, but the outreach of in 3 years, it's not much. So there will be an interaction between the virtual community and the planned research. And we do hope that we start with a very massive planned research work, but it will be diminished at the end of the project life, while the community research, when new data, new ratings, new cases come from the community, will be bigger and bigger, and it will have its own life. Maybe after finishing HEXTLEARN project, people are uploading and uploading good cases, and our good case repository will become a living repository of good cases all over Europe. That might be a very good case. I will not repeat too much Claudio's territories. I mean, we work in territories. I do hope that the community will find new territories, because this description is not very good for us, and now the catchy word for a good territory is this and that, and we will have a 10th territory. However, after having collected many good cases, it is quite obvious that the most cases are in distance education and campus education using ICT. Campus education, because the whole university management in all over Europe is already online, and so the paper-based management is more or less over. So there are many good cases in campus education and the distance education with good roots, but we have nice collection of other cases. Okay. Our starting criteria how to select good cases relying on those indicators. We want to see robust, big impact scale and big scale of operation ICT use, or very reliable, quality assured or accredited activities with the ICT. And in many cases, accreditation for e-learning is different than from other type of accreditations, or like the unique badge. So if the ICT use is accredited in the way we need, then it is a good practice. It should be famous in a way, an international or national reputation. Everybody knows in a country this or that application in ICT. It can be also that a good practice is a model in a country or in a region. Sometimes governments order research institutes to make a model for doing something. Or it can be very innovative. And our criterion for selecting a case to have at least 2 of those 5 elements. So if a good practice have 2 of those elements, then we see it as a good practice. If it's objectively can be shown, for example, have an award of unique, and the numbers are the biggest in the respective countries. This is objectively measured and good practice. But we have also a second listing, which is called suggested good practice, when 2 peers just looking at the case and say that I think it is a good practice. If you see, this is the traditional part of how you make good practices, but then comes the community who will just individually rate how they want. And the most popular practices will become good practice later. Right, where do we do the investigation? Because we would like to see why the good practices became good practice, so we would like to add something to show something, what are the factors behind good practices which made them good practices. And this is the lesson to be learned to other universities who are not leading in ICT innovation. And one area is the top management of higher education, the strategy, whether the good practices has a supporting strategy in the university. The other is the line management issues, what we will investigate. Then the hardware and the software technology, which is quite obvious that we will ask and look at how they do the good practice. Then there will be a group where we investigate the ICT skills of the academic staff, and of course the learners as well. Is it adding something to the good practice? Also, there will be a set of questions about content provision and development and communication. So those were the 6 main areas where we have questions to the good practice holders, and we will make interviews with universities who had specific good practices. Now, the working methods are also quite well known. We will have desk research, which can be in the virtual area. That will be my case. We will make interviews. That will be an online questionnaire maybe. We will have focus group sessions, which can be a Skype conversation if the community decides to make a focus group investigation. And we will have peer review sessions for investigating the ICT good practice. And there we will prepare a virtual peer review. Claudio already was talking about this. And finally, during the 3 years, we had 3 or 4 seminars like this, when we can discuss the aspects of good practices.